The first time I saw her, I thought I was about to die. It was raining that night. Acid rain, the kind that hissed against metal roofs and burned through cheap fabric. I had just finished repairing a broken energy relay in one of the lower sectors. Not exactly glamorous work, but it paid enough to keep me alive. Barely. I remember pulling my hood tighter as I stepped into the alley behind the repair shop. The air smelled like rust and ozone. Somewhere in the distance, a siren wailed, then abruptly cut off. That's when I noticed the silence. Sector 9 was never quiet. There were always drones humming, engines roaring, voices arguing. But in that moment, everything stopped. And then I saw her. She stood at the far end of the alley, motionless. Rain slid off her black armor like it refused to touch her. A faint red glow pulsed from the lines etched into her suit, like veins of light beneath the surface. Her eyes, if they were even eyes, burned with the same crimson hue. I didn't need anyone to tell me who she was. My body froze. I had heard the stories. People disappearing without a trace. Entire gangs wiped out in minutes. No mercy. No hesitation. I wasn't a fighter. I was just a mechanic. And I had just stepped into the wrong place at the worst possible time. Her head tilted slightly, as if studying me. Then she started walking. Each step was slow. Deliberate. I couldn't move. Couldn't breathe. This is it, I thought. This is how it ends. But just as she reached me, she stopped. Close enough that I could see the faint cracks along her armor, like something inside was trying to break free. She raised her hand. I flinched, waiting for the final blow. But it never came. Instead, she said something. "You're not the target." Her voice wasn't cold like I expected. It wasn't mechanical or hollow. It sounded tired, confused. I looked past her and realized I wasn't alone. 3 figures lay behind me in the alley, gang members I hadn't even noticed before. All motionless. All gone. She had already done what she came to do. I swallowed hard. "Then why are you still here?" For a moment, she didn't answer. Her glowing eyes locked onto mine, searching, analyzing, almost hesitating. "I don't know." And just like that, she turned and vanished into the rain. Middle. I should have forgotten about her. Anyone with a functioning brain would have. But I couldn't. There was something about the way she looked at me, not like I was prey, not like I was nothing. Something different. And in Sector 9, different was dangerous. A week passed. Then 2. Life went back to normal, or as normal as things could be in a city where the sky was permanently choked with smoke and the ground buzzed with unstable energy grids. I almost convinced myself it had been a hallucination, until she came back. It was late again. I was closing up the shop when I heard the door slide open behind me. I didn't turn around. I was wondering when you'd show up again. Silence. Then footsteps. "You're not afraid?" she asked. I shrugged, tightening a bolt on the panel in front of me. I was. The first time. And now. I turned to face her. Now I'm curious. She stood there, just like before, silent, still unreadable. But this time I noticed something else. A flicker. The red glow in her armor wasn't steady. It pulsed unevenly, like a heartbeat struggling to stay consistent. "You're damaged," I said. Her eyes narrowed slightly. "I am functioning within acceptable parameters." "Yeah, no," I muttered. "That's not what I meant." I stepped closer, cautiously. "Your energy output is unstable. If you keep pushing it like this, you're going to burn out your core." She didn't move. Didn't stop me. "Why do you care?" she asked. I hesitated. "Good question." "I don't know," I admitted. "Maybe because you didn't kill me when you had the chance." Something changed in her expression. Or, at least, I thought it did. A crack in the mask. "Can you fix it?" she asked. I blinked. "You're asking me for help?" "Yes." That single word carried something I didn't expect.
Trust.
It took hours. Her armor wasn't like anything I'd ever worked on before. It was part machine, part something else. The energy core embedded in her chest pulsed with a strange, almost organic rhythm. "You're not fully human, are you?" I asked quietly.
"No," she said.
"Not anymore." I didn't press further. As I worked, I noticed something else.
Scars.
Not on her skin, but in her systems. Data fragments, corrupted memory sectors, overwritten commands. Someone had turned her into this. A weapon. "Who did this to you?" I asked. She didn't answer right away. "The ones who gave me purpose," she finally said. "That doesn't sound like purpose," I muttered. "That sounds like control." Her gaze hardened. "There is a difference?" I met her eyes. "Yeah, a big one." Silence stretched between us. Then, unexpectedly, "Why didn't you run?" she asked. "From you?" "Yes." I leaned back against the workbench, thinking. "Because for a second you didn't look like a killer." Her expression flickered again. "Then what did I look like?" I smiled faintly, like someone who didn't want to be one. She started coming back after that. Not every day, not even regularly, but enough. Each time, I fixed something. A damaged circuit, a glitch in her targeting system, a corrupted memory fragment. And each time she stayed a little longer, talked a little more. I learned that her name was Lyra, or at least, that's what she remembered. I learned that she had been created, modified, to be the perfect enforcer. No emotions, no hesitation, no mercy, except something had gone wrong. Or maybe something had gone right. Because when she was around me, she wasn't the Red Shadow. She was just Lyra. But nothing in Sector 9 stayed peaceful for long. One night, she arrived differently. Not silent. Not controlled. She stumbled through the door, collapsing to one knee. "Lyra." I rushed to her side. Her armor was flickering violently now, red lights surging erratically. "They're coming," she said, her voice strained. "They've located me." My stomach dropped.
"Who?"
"My creators." Ending, we didn't have much time. I helped her onto the workbench, quickly scanning her systems. The damage was worse than before, far worse. "They've activated a recall protocol," she explained. "If they reach me, I will lose control." "You mean they'll take you back?" "No," she said, meeting my eyes. "I mean they will erase what I've become." Silence. I clench my fists. "Then we don't let them." She almost smiled. "You don't understand. They built me to eliminate threats. If I resist, I will become one." "Not to me," I said firmly. Footsteps echoed outside. Heavy. Coordinated. Too many. "They're here," she whispered. I looked around the small workshop. Tools, wires, half-finished repairs. Nothing that could stop a squad of advanced enforcers. But maybe. I turned back to her. "Lyra, listen to me. If I can disable the recall signal, cut them off, you might be able to stay in control." "Might," she repeated.
"Yeah."
"Not great odds. But it's better than none." She studied me, that same searching look from the first night. "Why are you doing this?" she asked.
I didn't hesitate this time.
"Because you chose not to kill me." A loud crash shook the door. "They're coming in." I grabbed my tools and got to work, hands moving faster than they ever had before. Wires sparked. Circuits hummed. The energy core pulsed wildly.
"Hold on," I muttered.
Just a little longer. The door burst open. 3 figures stepped inside, armored, identical, their eyes glowing the same red as Lyra's. "Unit L7, one of them said. "Return to base." Immediately. Lyra's body tensed. I saw it happening, the shift, the override. "Lyra!" I shouted. "Fight it!" Her hands clenched. The red glow surged. I am trying. The enforcers raised their weapons. Non-compliance detected. Initiating termination. No. I slammed the final connection into place. For a split second, everything went silent. Then the glow changed. From red to white. Lyra gasped, collapsing forward as the energy surge rippled through her system. The enforcers froze. Signal lost, one of them said. Connection severed. They turned, retreating without another word. Just like that, they were gone. I caught Lyra before she hit the ground. Hey, stay with me. Her eyes flickered, no longer red, but a soft, steady glow. You did it, she whispered. I let out a shaky breath. Yeah, we did. She looked at me, truly looked this time. No scanning, no analyzing, just seeing. I was created to destroy, she said softly, to show no mercy. I nodded. I know. Her hand moved slightly, resting against mine. But with you, I couldn't. I smiled. Good. Weeks later, the red shadow was gone. People still whispered about her, but now it was just a story. A myth fading into the noise of the city. As for Lyra, she stayed. Not as a weapon, not as a ghost, but as something new, something free. And sometimes late at night, when the city finally grew quiet, she would look at me and ask the same question. Why me? And every time, I'd give her the same answer. Because even the most merciless weapon can choose not to be one. And somehow, she chose me.